does a small act of kindness from the mighty hold the power to transform the lives of the humble? Ancient sage Saadi once told a story that delves into this profound question. In a time long past, in the distant city of Samarkand, there lived a benevolent king known not only for his wisdom, but also for his adventurous spirit. One crisp winter morning, he set out with his trusted minister on a hunting expedition, eager to explore the farthest reaches of his kingdom. The thrill of the chase led them deep into an ancient forest, where towering trees whispered tales of old, and the canopy above filtered the sunlight into a mosaic of shadows. As the day waned, a sudden chill descended upon the forest. The sun dipped low, and darkness began to weave through the trees faster than they had anticipated. Realizing they were too far to return to the palace before nightfall, the king and his minister sought shelter. The biting cold intensified, and the forest offered little comfort against the harsh elements. Amidst the encroaching darkness, they spotted a faint glow flickering through the dense foliage. Drawn to the light, they made their way toward it, and discovered a modest farmhouse nestled at the edge of a clearing. The king considered the humble abode and suggested that they might request shelter there for the night. However, his minister hesitated, gently reminding him that it might not be fitting for a ruler to impose upon a simple farmer. He proposed that they set up camp nearby, light a fire, and endure the cold night without burdening their subject. The king pondered his minister's counsel, weighing the dignity of his position against the pressing need for warmth and safety. He respected the notion of royal decorum, but also felt the sting of the frigid air. Unbeknownst to them, the farmer had noticed their approach. Peering out from his window, he recognized the royal insignia adorning their cloaks and was astonished to realize that his king stood just beyond his doorstep. Filled with a mix of awe and devotion, the farmer felt compelled to act. Gathering his courage and the modest provisions he had, he prepared a simple offering: freshly baked bread, warm broth, and a place by his hearth. Approaching the king with deep respect, he expressed that although his home was simple, it would be the greatest honor of his life to provide shelter and nourishment to his sovereign. He assured the king that accepting his hospitality would not diminish royal dignity, but would instead elevate the spirits of a loyal subject. Moved by the farmer's sincerity and the warmth of his offer, the king decided to accept the invitation. Inside the cozy farmhouse, the crackling fire cast a comforting glow, and the aroma of home-cooked food filled the air. The king felt an unexpected sense of peace. As they shared the humble meal, the king engaged the farmer in conversation, inquiring about his life, his labors, and his family. The farmer spoke of the joys and hardships that marked his days, his words laced with gratitude for the simple blessings he cherished. Throughout the evening, the king found himself enriched by the farmer's perspectives. The walls of class and status seemed to fade within the warmth of that modest home. He realized that true wisdom often resided in the hearts of ordinary people, and that his kingdom was composed of countless lives like this farmer's, each with their own stories, struggles, and dreams. As dawn broke, painting the sky with hues of gold and rose, the king prepared to depart. He expressed his profound appreciation to the farmer, acknowledging that the kindness shown had touched him deeply. In gratitude, he bestowed upon the farmer robes of honor and gifts that far exceeded the value of the shelter and meal provided. The farmer was overwhelmed, his eyes welling with tears of joy. The minister observed the exchange in thoughtful silence. He began to understand that dignity and humility are not opposing forces, but can coexist harmoniously within a great leader. The king's willingness to accept the farmer's hospitality had not diminished his stature. Rather, it had elevated it in the eyes of those he served. On the journey back to the palace, the king reflected on the night's events. He recognized that extending kindness and humility bridges the gap between ruler and subject. The simple act of accepting the farmer's offer had brought joy not only to the farmer, but also enriched the king's own understanding of his people. So, does a small act of kindness from the mighty hold the power to transform the lives of the humble? Indeed, like the sun that shines upon all without prejudice, a king's grace can illuminate even the simplest of homes, and in that shared light, both the mighty and the humble find warmth and meaning.